Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to County's Homesteading with Pooh Bear. It's your girl Pooh Bear. Please click like, subscribe, share this video if you want to. But please hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we have something going on. I am just going to give it a few minutes because I know this is not a scheduled live. I don't think anybody is really on right now on Sunday. I didn't even check to see if anybody else is on because I hate to be on when other people are on. But I'm here, so let's get to talking. Haven't done a live in a minute. I've been so busy, y'all. Oh my gosh. I've been so busy. Good afternoon. Hi. Hopefully y'all can see me right. I'm thinking that I'm good. Hopefully I'm good. I'm not too shaky. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. But I wanted to check in with everybody, see how everybody is doing, see what y'all got going on, who has been working on bettering themselves this year. I'm not trying to hold anybody to any specific regimen because I'm not even going off of any specific regimen. What I am doing is trying to figure out what actually works for me, you know? A lot of times we are so focused on, hey, this person tried this diet or tried this lifestyle change and it worked for them, but that's them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same for you, right? So I'm trying to figure things out. It's okay. What I do like, I will incorporate. What I don't like, I don't have to. So I won't. So that's what I've been like trying to, come up with some different strategies and different things to do in my life. So I'm trying to give it a whirl. One of the things that I am looking at is just taking out a lot of the processed foods out of my diet. Oh, there's a speed trap coming on. I love my notifications from Google and from the other. When there's like a speed trap, if the police are around or whatever, they let you know to brace yourself so you don't get a ticket. Which is a good thing because y'all know I don't like the speed limit. It's like going 70 miles is cool, but going 80 is just better. I don't try to go too far over the speed limit, but I don't like doing the speed limit. At least let me do five miles over the speed limit. It's a problem that I have, but it's whatever. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, just the processed foods. I've been really like focusing on labels. And what's up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Good to see you in the building. Homesteading in the hood. That's my sister. Are you coming to the HOA, not the HOA, to the meetup? Because I am so looking forward to this meetup. I'm coming early and I'm staying after. I'm planning on just really not just being there for 17 hours this time, coming all the way to California to Savannah just for 17 hours. Nah, yeah, that's not gonna work for me this time. I'm gonna give it like a good 4 days. Like I'm coming to hang out. I'm coming to enjoy myself. I'm coming to be with my family, and I really want to enjoy you guys. And so I hope that you are coming again this year, sis. But when I'm talking about with the labels, I'm really trying to pay attention to what I don't just put into my mouth, but also into my family's mouth. Because at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my whole family and what they eat because I'm the one that pretty much buys it, cooks it, or whatever. And so I'm really trying to take the time to understand what it is I'm reading, and they make it so difficult on the labels because they put everything in scientific terms. And so if you don't know what monodiglycerides are, then you have to look it up. A lot of times we're like, I ain't got time for all that, and just pick whatever's on the shelf, and that's how they're killing us because we don't take the time to really figure out what these things are. So one of the things that I'm going to do, I have not done it yet, but hopefully one day this week, I'm going to start going through boxes of things that I have in my cabinet and start looking at what these things are, breaking down the scientific terms and putting them on paper or in the computer so that we all can know what these things are. I want to know what they are, how they affect our bodies, what their purposes are, because when you look at like a lot of the stuff that they put into our foods, for example, why do we have to have soy and Kool-Aid? Like, you know, and I'm not saying that there's necessarily soy and Kool-Aid. I haven't checked it out, but I'm just using it as an example. But corn syrup in everything, I'm like, why do we have to have corn syrup in everything? It doesn't make sense. Like, is it just an adjective to make it stretch, to, you know, the formula or whatever? Like, we can do things that are not harmful. And it's like back in the day before they did this big corn boost into everything, people were healthier. They had, you know, better longevity. And, you know, it's just like we have to go and look at how our grandparents and maybe great great grandparents used to eat. You know, they ate vegetables and leaner meats. They didn't have all of this processed potatoes, processed vegetables, you know, all this stuff that we are eating because we are microwave people. We want it quick, quick, quick. He said we went through our, I think it's called. Okay, I will. And I'm looking at these things because one thing that I know, and like you've been telling me for the longest, like we got to eat more vegetables and the fruits and everything. And you know, I had gave up on my garden for a minute, and I was just like, whatever, like I can't grow out here. I keep trying and trying, and I keep getting my butt handed to me. But I mean, I'm not a punk. I'm not gonna just give up. That was just a moment. I've gotten over myself, and we are working on just changing the dynamics of how we were doing it, putting more covers on, more shade cloth on. And then another problem that I was having with my garden is I didn't really have the time that I needed to dedicate to my garden because I would hardly be home. And then when I did come home, it was already night. And I don't have the light set up to where I can garden at night yet, but I will soon because I'm going to be getting those big, gigantic, like 1,000 lumen lights set up around the property so that even at night we can still work because, you know, I'm really busy and I'm not home a lot during the day like I need to be. Like, and when I am, I'm trying to rest. But things are getting better in that aspect, so it's gonna be okay. But I'm just looking at stuff like What is the monoglyceride? Why is it in our ice cream? Why is it in a lot of the different foods that we eat? Like, I have to know what it is so that I can understand the purpose of it. Because if it's not beneficial to our bodies, why is it in our food? What are the different types of like adjectives? Like they're saying, like, you know, like there's paint thinner properties in a lot of the cereals that we eat, and I'm trying to figure that out. Even like I was watching this video, and I don't know if it's true or not. I have to do my research, but just seeing this video scared me because this lady was going in her video. She's like showing us the different hair gels that we use, and she was showing on the back of the bottle the ingredients, and one of the ingredients, the way she worded it, is like the scientific name. I don't know what it is, but the name that we know is formaldehyde, and that it's in a lot of different hair gels that we use. What you say, sis? Write up the family plan for you, for your homestead. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. I have so much to do. For the farm, we have to write out the business plan. We have to write out a schedule as to what's going to get done, who's doing it. It's just like everything. We are I don't want to be behind them. Total from the beginning. The pigs are coming, God willing, they're truthfully going to come this week, because every time we are supposed to have the guys come out, something for one reason or another has been happening to where we've not been able to successfully synchronize our watches for them to come and surveillance our land and then start building the pig pen. So still waiting for that. But it's coming though. So, you know, patience is a virtue that God is really working on me with. So I cannot have everything right when I want it. I have to be, no, we're going this way. We're getting on that freeway. I have to be patient. I can't have everything when I want it. So it's okay. I'm learning, and it's a good thing because I want to be a virtuous woman. So I need this virtue. So it's okay. But what I'm looking at is we're trying to figure out how we're going to run everything. The pigs are not necessarily for our eating because I'm really trying to get rid of red meat. Like, I don't buy ground beef anymore. I do the chicken and the turkey. And I don't even buy ground anything. Whatever I get, I buy whole, and then I grind it myself. Y'all, I love my grinder. Oh my gosh, I have so much fun. I'm like, that's like one of the best things Led could have did was went and got an electrical grinder, because he just showed me how much easier it was, because I had that big old handheld grinder that I didn't reuse a lot because it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have 20s in a minute. Like that thing is gonna build all the definition and everything in my arms, but it hurts your arms, hurts your hand too from holding the handle. So just being able to just put it in an electric grinder, I'm like, I'm so blessed. I'm so spoiled with my grinder. I love my grinder. So, and you know, that's pitiful because if I'm not mistaken, I think I got that grinder for me for my birthday. That was my birthday gift to myself. I'm one of those women. I love gadgets that really work. And I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, it's my birthday. Go get me flowers. Go get me jewelry or whatever. No, give me something I need. Give me something that I need that's going to help me in my homesteading. They were mad at me. They were like, well, what do you want for Christmas? And I was very honest. I was like, I want mason jars. What do you want for your birthday? Mason jars. What do you want for Valentine's Day? Oh, I want some mason jars, and I want some cast iron skillets. And what did I say I wanted? I want mason jars. I want cast iron skillets. There's a couple more things that I want. I want my husband to buy me some tile because I want to redo the floor finally for the house. I want to get the floor redone because y'all know we had that old epoxy on concrete. And that's why when I don't like doing videos in the house because the floor is still ugly to me. But it is what it is. It's our house, and you got to cry before you walk. So we're crawling. But I want to start walking, or at least, I don't know, trying to walk. Yeah, we're just trying to walk. So I'm like, what else did I want? Oh, I want new curtains. I want new curtains for my kitchen and new curtains for my living room. The stuff that I want to make my house feel better. And people don't understand. I know, like, it's my birthday or Christmas or whatever, but it's two ways you can handle this. Don't ask me what I want if you don't want to give me what I want. Then just do the other thing. Just give me what you want me to have. I'm going to be happy because you thought about me. But if you ask me what I want, I do expect you to get it. And come on, mason jars, that's not even $15. So I'm going to be doing a little wish list thing for the kids. Well, they don't even really need it, I don't think. Just buy mom different size mason jars. Because I have a lot of canning to do. I have a small arsenal of mason jars that are already full of food. It could probably last us about 2 weeks if we solely had to eat off of all of the mason jars that I have, maybe 3. Now, if we go into all of the canned food that I bought from the grocery store, that could be a couple of months. But I want to get my canned food to be about a couple of months, and then I can move it on to 6 months and gradually make it into a year, because my goal is my whole pantry and all of my shelves inside to be full of food that I can't myself. And then that way, everything that we put on the sunroom back porch could be the other stuff. Now, the top cabinets I would leave for, like, flour, stuff like that. But even my flour, a lot of that is in mason jars. I have the brown and red dark mason jars for my flour and my sugar and everything. But I'm just trying to be more cognitive and conscious of what goes into our bodies, because it's vital. Like, you can't trust everybody. It's kind of like this. When you go to the cookout, to the family cookout or the family and friends cookout, one of the biggest questions is, who cooked what? Because you don't want to eat everybody's cooking. Because you can't trust everybody. The question is like, did you wash your hands? Did you clean that meat? Did you clean them greens? How did you clean that meat? Did you soak it in vinegar? Did you soak them greens in vinegar? Did you get all them bugs and dirt and everything off? Because you don't want to be eating that stuff. Well, when you have the powers that be that would prefer to pay farmers not to grow food, it's like, oh, you have 200 acres of land. You're a farmer. Well, how about we, the powers that be, the government, how about we'll pay you not to grow your vegetables, not to grow your animals. We're just going to pay you not to do that. And we'll pay you more than what you would make had you been farming. So a lot of farmers are like, the government's going to pay me not to farm. Some people are doing it. There's some farmers that are not farming. because they're making more money not to farm. Me personally, I think that that sucks, especially when you live in a state like California. Now, what is the reason they say, they say the reason that they are trying to pay farmers not to farm is because California is in this horrific drought. And I can understand that. There's a lot of validity to that. We are, California stays in a drought. We stay in a drought. Now, we have had a lot of rain, and that rain was a blessing. It moved the marker up, but we are still in a drought. But California pays a lot. I mean, it provides a lot of water. I mean, a lot of food for the country. Okay. So my whole thing is, when you see that this state puts food on a lot of people's tables, and then you say, well, I'll pay you. I'm sorry, we got to get gas. You say, I'll pay you not to farm. So if we're not getting the food from the states because we're in a drought, where does the food come from? Because see, now they're outsourcing it like they've been doing. This is nothing that they've been outsourcing. Most of the produce that comes in California, I can't speak for every part of the world or of every part of this country, but it'll say Guatemala, Chile, Mexico, all kinds of stuff. They even have the commercials that says avocados from Mexico, you know? So it's like, that's nothing new. But the regulations are not as on it in other countries than they are here. So if we want to monitor what's really going on into our mouths, there's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration that a lot of people don't want to take the time to do. And so we get sicker. So a long time ago, I would hear people talking about chicken and how the chicken in the grocery store had all these hormones and everything. And so then I start raising these chickens. And like, okay, you have your regular broiler, and then you have the Cornish cross. And the Cornish cross is normally that meat bird that goes into the grocery stores and into the restaurants. It's not full of hormones, at least not what we get. But it is a quick raised animal that you process between 6 and 8 weeks. But it is genetic, it is modified the way they've made this bird. And I'm trying to figure out, I can't say genetically modified, but the way they have made this bird, and maybe it is genetically modified. I have to watch what I say. But the way they produce this bird, you can't grow this bird on your own because you kill it or you process it before it's time for it to lay eggs. And it's too big to lay eggs by the time it's time for you to process it. But they tell you that this bird can't be processed. I mean, it can't be an egg layer. So then you go, well, I bought it as a chick like a day old. Why can't I process? Why can't I get it from an egg? Because a lot of times you can get eggs and you can put them in an incubator and hatch them. But to my knowledge, you can't do that with the Cornish cross. You can only buy them from hatcheries. So If I want to say I want to get like a Red Ranger or a Rhode Island Red. Exactly. Exactly. If I wanted to get the Rhode Island Red, I could buy it in the egg. I could put it in an incubator. I could hatch it. I could raise it. It will give me more eggs. I can get it mixed with a rooster, and I can reproduce that. So it made me think, am I going to buy more Cornish cross and try to raise them this time? No, I think I'm done with the Cornish cross. I think that what I'm going to do is work with what I can work with, what I know, what I feel comfortable with. And that would be different types of meat birds. They have like I think it's called the Red Ranger. There's so many different dual and meat birds that are out there that take like 12 weeks. You can raise them longer. Thank you, my sister. You can raise them longer. You don't have to process them so quickly, because then I feel better about what it is that I'm putting into not my body, but my kids' bodies, my husband's body, and then our customers' bodies, you know? And because, I mean, at the end of the day, and I'm going to do a whole video to show you guys what I bought. I've been putting this video together. You guys know I go to not Whole Foods, I go to Winco. And when I go to Winco, you can have those. When I go to Winco, I buy in bulk. So it was like 2 days ago, I think it was, I go to Winco to get the feed. So I get the wild bird seed because chickens can eat that. So I get that because it already has the sunflower, the black sunflower oil, the black sunflower seeds with the oil. And I got the, what is it, thick mist. I can't say it. I have to show you guys, but I have the red flax seed. I have the wheat berry, what is it, like wheat berry meal or whatever it is. But it's like all these extremely healthy things, the peas, the lentils, all of these different things. And then I'm going tomorrow to the feed store that I go to, which is actually the previous owners of our house. Her sister owns the feed store that I get a lot of my stuff from, and she sells the grit and oyster shells. You can buy it by the pound, and it's like really cheap. It's like $1.50 for a big old pound, So I get that and incorporate that into my feed. I make this stuff myself, I'm not growing all of the peas and the corn and all of that stuff yet, but I'm working on that so that I can make my own feed from scratch, and I know everything that's in it. I'm not at that part yet, but I'm doing what I can do with what I have to work with, So there's been all this controversy right now with Tractor Supply selling us food to stop our our hens from producing eggs and all of this nonsense. I have a remedy for that. If you don't trust what the big stores are doing, make your own. I don't know many people in our community that have as many birds as I do. So, because we're over 100 again. I forgot to tell y'all. Yeah. We're like about maybe 104 or something like that. So my whole thing is this. If you have 10 birds, 18 birds, 20, 25 birds, it's not that difficult to come up with food to feed your birds. Good, healthy, high protein, good calcium, good potassium, good iron, ribin flavor, all of these things that our birds need. It's not hard. And when you take the time to come up with a formula that's going to be beneficial to your specific birds, because all birds are not made equal. Some of them need, different things. You have to figure out what the temperament is, and what the desire for your birds to, be productive is. So how many eggs do you want? You might not want your birds to produce a bunch of eggs because that'll be too much for you. So maybe using the 16% protein that some of these companies are putting in their feed is okay. For me, I know, especially in the winter months, your chickens need more protein because it's colder. They have to use a lot more carbohydrates to produce, for the heat, to keep them warm and everything. So they're burning a lot. And so you have to give them a little bit more. So give them more protein. And that could be an easy way to do that, is just go to the feed store and buy them some grubs, or some bugs and insects. If your birds can't go out in free range, like you guys know, we let them run around the yard and let them do what they're gonna do all day. And then at night they go back in the coop on their own, and then we put them back in. We still have not put up a big protecting perimeter. It's coming. We're ordering it, but we haven't. And even when we do, we're still gonna let them free range. It's just we'll let them free range when we're going to be out there, because I believe in letting the birds run around the whole property and do what they're going to do. And they enjoy that, and the ducks have fun, and they get to go in their pool every day. Even when it's cold, we still let the ducks get in the water because that's their natural habitat, So I'm just saying, if you don't like or agree with what these big companies are doing, while you still can do it yourself. I'm getting goats. I'm going to get the Nigerian dwarfs. They're coming after the pigs. What I'm trying to do is get into position. For one, I should have already been fired at the grocery store, but I haven't yet. But by September, when I turn 49, no, when I turn 48, that's because Earl just made 48. So, I'm always used to saying we're 47, but now he's 48, so I'm making myself 48. 48 is not coming until September for me, but by the time I turn, my plan is to have pretty much fired the grocery store. To the grocery store to buy like foil, toilet paper, towels, because my goal is to be on, back to using linen cloths for napkins and paper towels. I'm going to use, and I have a lot of linen cloths, to dry towels and stuff like that, but we still I've not made it a thing to where we're just gonna wash them and we're not gonna buy more paper towels. No, I still been buying paper towels, but by my birthday, my goal is only to have to buy like maybe 5% of the things I need from the grocery store, and everything else is gonna come from my home, my garden, my animals, and that's it. So I want to get the Nigerian dwarf goats because I have been doing some research, and a lot of people say that the goat's milk tastes better than cow's milk. It's got like a good sweet taste to it. I've not tasted it yet myself because I don't really drink milk. Going through the pregnancies, like before I had kids, I used to drink a lot of milk, eat a lot of cereal. And I loved ice cream. I still love ice cream, but not like that. As I went through my pregnancies, I started craving milk less. And so I don't really eat cereal and I don't really drink milk. Hey, Psalms 46. I can't read it. I think you're saying hello to everybody. Hi. Hey, sis. But what I do, and I know I have to let it go the way that I eat it now, is I do eat cheese. I love cheese. Love, love, love cheese. I'm going to tell you something. I could totally rock out being a vegetarian as long as I could be able to eat cheese and eat eggs. A pescatarian, the more that I'm learning about seafood animals, I'm not saying that I'm cutting them completely out of my diet. I'm not gonna lie to you. But what I will say is that I'm trying to really regulate the amount that I put into my diet. So, for example, I love shrimp, but I know that shrimp aren't like the best things for me. I like eating pig, and when I say that, I mean so. Let me break it down to you. When I say I like to eat pig, I like sausage. Don't necessarily hot dogs, whatever. I can make chicken hot dogs, but I'm gonna be doing this my own stuff because I have my the piece to go into my grinder. But and that's one thing I want to do this week. Oh, I pray I have enough time to actually make my own sausage. But let me stay on point. I like pork steak every now and then. I do not eat ham. It is too salty for me, so I don't eat. I make it. I make about 2 or 3 hams a year, but I don't eat ham. I like bacon, but to be honest with you, I can't find a turkey bacon that I really like. There was a turkey bacon that Denny's used to sell, and it was so good. It was their own like distribution company that they worked with, and it was so good. But now they don't even sell that anymore. They switched companies or whatever. Ballpark and all that. I don't like the way the turkey bacon tastes. However, I love beef bacon because it tastes like pastrami meat to me. So I don't have to have pork. I don't. I like it occasionally. I do like pork chops, but like I'm a weird person because like I don't eat steak like from a cow. I eat pork steak, but I don't eat cow steak. I don't. But I'm a person who loves liver. Onion, lemon pepper, or not lemon pepper, lemon and onions and pepper. Oh my gosh! And I said lemons, onions, and pepper, not lemon, onion, pepper. I still want to say lemon, onion, pepper, liver. I love a good, juicy, tender, fully cooked, completely cooked. No pink anywhere on anything I eat. I'm weird like that. I don't want worms. And I just can't eat anything that's raw. I know a lot of people like to eat their food raw, medium rare. They want to see it pink. They want to see the blood running down. I can't even eat eggs over easy. I cannot. I'm not knocking anybody that can, because I believe that we have to do our own. Juicy with Jay is in here. My brother's in here. Hey, but oh, you're saying juice lemon? Yes. Now, that's the thing that I was going to get to. The things that I'm working on with my diet, it's going to consist of this: really monitoring and really almost eliminating the processed foods out of a diet and incorporating more juicing to our diet. So I'm going to always, have like a starch, It could be cauliflower, it could be corn sometimes. Although I know that corn is not the best thing for us, so I'm really trying to even monitor our intake and our animals' intake as well. But with corn, because corn is the best thing for you. But I'm trying to incorporate all of the colors into our diet. So more red colored vegetables, more orange, more yellow, more purple, even some pinks, and a lot of dark leafy greens. And so in order for that to happen, I was talking to my husband, I'm like, well, maybe we should just do different types of salads and just make it like a three-course meal, like maybe 4 days out of the week. So we're gonna, or maybe we'll do like a soup and salad, like a small soup and salad, and give them the soup first, and then give them the salad, and then we can have our dinner, and then maybe we can have like a fruit bowl, or maybe Jello, and then see, you got the whole, well, you can't eat Jello because they use the hoof of the horse. It's like all these different things. So I'm just trying to go a little bit by little bit, because it's so much when you're trying to just change a whole rigmarole. So I'm just going to do a little bit. So right now, learning within, figuring out if it's beneficial or not to our lifestyle, to our diet. And then from that point on, growing on steroids what I need. So thank God I have the space to do it, but in the same mindset, making sure that when I'm growing for our family, that I'm growing for our animals as well. Because I don't want to have to go to the store to buy feed all the time. For just the birds, for our chickens and the ducks, we're spending about $50 a month if we're buying feed, from them. And the bags we buy are like 50 pounds. So that's like maybe 50 pounds of feed a week for the egg layers, and then 50 pounds of feed for the babies, for the chicks, because the chicks protein is 22 and the egg layers is 18. It's 16, but I add to it. So now with us changing the dynamics of the feed for the egg layers and make it in ourselves, our chicks, our hens are getting about a 20, maybe a little bit more than 20% protein. But I have to leave the corn in, because what I'm finding is that, and I can't think of the enzyme or whatever it is in corn and in soy that is so beneficial to the eggs reproduce. For the hens reproducing. There's this. I can't think of it. I'll let you guys know when I figure all of this stuff out and what's good and what's not and everything. But I know that by incorporating the oyster shells in the grit, it helps them to break everything down, and it will also help produce the eggs. And then making sure that I have the diatomaceous earth to deworm them. And then, like right now, when the seasons are changing and starting to get hot, hotter, let's say that. They're going to be outside more. So making sure that I have the diatomaceous earth there, so that if any bugs are trying to get onto my birds, they'll be fine, because they are outside, And then we have like crows and sparrows and blue jays and hummingbirds and the road runners. Y'all seen the road runners in my yard. So I have to make sure that I'm protecting them. And then, they got this whole swine flu. I mean, not swine flu, this bird flu thing going around. I can't remember the name of that specific bird flu, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm protecting our flock. So right now we're getting about maybe 20 eggs a day. So the guy that is, I think we're getting more, but I'm not sure. I'm going to find out. The guy that we're going to be purchasing the goats and the pigs from, he has a business already established where he is, they're selling the eggs, but they're not producing enough for the demand. So guess who he wants to start purchasing eggs from? This girl right here. Yes, yes, yes. So what I'm going to do is make sure that my eggs are the best tasting, healthiest eggs I could possibly produce for them, So when the time is set, he's going to be getting eggs from me, and we are going to be constantly growing our flock. Between this month and March, we'll probably be ordering another 100 to 150 birds. We are switching things around because it's going to be hotter. So right now, everybody, they sleep in the coop at night. They're in the coop, but it's going to be so hot that they're not going to need to be in the coop. The big birds, they'll be able to be outside, just in closed in, protected from the wind environment. And so now we're going to have the 2 coops available to house the new additions. So one is probably going to go for the turkeys, and one will probably go for the ducks and the new hens. And then we're going to be sectioning off an area to where we're going to start growing our own chicks. So we're going to make it to where we're going to have like between maybe 20 hens that we're going to set aside, and each rooster will have 5 hens that they can be reproducing with, so that we can take those eggs and go ahead and incubate them and grow our own chicks. That's what we're most likely going to do. Between 2, I know we'll have at least 2 roosters, and we're just going to have them separated from the hen layers, the egg layers, because I don't want the ones that we're trying to fertilize to get mixed up with the ones that I don't want that to cross. So they'll be over here, and then the others will be over there. And then when the turkeys grow and start reproducing, we'll do the same thing with them, because the goal is not to have to keep outsourcing. I don't want to have to keep buying birds. So I'm going to do this, like, hopefully this last big go round and get all of these. We're getting like 20, 30 turkeys. We're going to probably get about maybe 20 ducks, and then like 100 to 150 chicks. So if we get them between this month and this month, by the end of the summer, everybody's going to be producing a bunch of eggs. And then we'll have our hens that are reproducing for us. And so then we'll incubate them, grow them, and not have to spend money purchasing more eggs or purchasing more chicks. And then we might be able to start selling them and breeding them ourselves. Who knows? I don't know. But it's possible. It's possible. But in all that, it's all about coming up with a way that we can be responsible for ourselves. Because if we leave it to the powers that be, trust and believe me, your best interest is most likely not their focus. Because let's look at it like this. If I am over the food and I'm over the drugs, because it's not a separate entity, you know that Food and Drug Administration, that says that they're over the food and the drugs. Okay. And now all of this is not word to your mother. This is according to Pooh Bear. I could be wrong. Let me put that disclaimer out there. I could be wrong. I can't read it. Oh, I'm driving. I'm gonna come back and read it. But let's look at this. If I'm over the food and I allow a lot of things in the food that are not beneficial to your body, and in fact, it's hurting your body, and the things that are beneficial, I take it out of the food. I give you dead food. I allow you to come into the store and buy dead food because I'm over this. I can control what gets put in and what gets taken out of the food. In order for them to put it out in the markets, it has to pretty much meet my approval, or they have to put on there does not meet the FDA's approval or whatever. Okay, so I say you can vegetables, but if you can vegetables, this is the formula that you have to use. Okay, and so then I'm gonna say, well, you got to kind of cook it, and you got to take all of these enzymes out, and you got to put this salt in it, and all of these different things. I don't know everything that's in it, so I can't really speak on it. But let's just say they tell you themselves that the best thing is raw. Then the second best is raw or fresh, and then the second best thing is frozen. That canned is the last best thing. But when you're not paying attention, you're going, oh, well, if I go to the store and I buy a pound of raw vegetables, say I wanted to get a pound of spinach. That spinach is going to be like $2 for a pound of spinach. But then they have this Popeye can that's like 15 ounces, maybe 16. I think it's filled, and it's already cooked and it's already seasoned and everything. You got kids. You're rushing. You got a family. You got other things to do. Do I buy this pack of raw spinach for $2 something, or pay $1 for this can that all I got to do is dump into the microwave and warm it up because it's our greens? Let me get these glory black peas. So you get these things that are full of things, because when it's already seasoned, you got to look at how much salt is in it, and it's sodium. And then we know that sodium for us is not good because most of us are potassium deficient, so we're not able to process sodium in our diets that good. So we're supposed to have around 3,500, like 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams of potassium in our diets a day. And if we have that, our bodies will process sodium a whole lot better because we would urinate it out. However, we don't know this. Most people who eat, we are potassium deficient, and we don't know that that's one of the reasons that we have high blood pressure. I'm just saying, look it up. Don't take my word for it, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a herbalist. I'm just somebody that's been trying to figure out how to fix her body. And one of the things that I found out is that if I have more potassium in my diet, my blood pressure will be more regulated. Look it up for yourself. And they say that the potassium needs to come from the food that you eat, not necessarily from the vitamins, because our body does not always absorb everything in the vitamins. That's why you talk to plumbers. They are always talking about these hard vitamins that didn't get processed and can mess your. We're about 15 minutes from her house. So we got to take all of that into consideration. But when we go through looking at what we're putting into our diet, what we're doing, and we figure it out, we see, well, if I eat the foods that you provide for me in their grocery stores, over time, it makes me sick. It tears my body down. So now I'm going to the doctor who gets paid for every prescription that they give me, who really probably would like to help me, but their hands are tied because they can only prescribe for me what they are allowed to prescribe for me by those who govern them. So now they have to give me a prescription because all of the foods that they give me in the store are harmful for me. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the ones that are affordable, because things that are not good for you are cheap, but the things that are healthy for you are more expensive, and you're on a budget. So you're getting the things for you. And so then you're gaining weight, you're bloated, you're having back problems, ankle problems, knee problems. You go to the doctor and you say, you know, my knee is hurting me a lot and my back's been hurting me. Then they check your back. They say, oh, well, you have acute tendonitis in your back. What does that mean? That you're not really stretching your body like you need to, but they just give you, here goes some naproxen, here goes some Motrin, some ibuprofen. Oh, I'm gonna send you to pain management. Oh, let's run a test on you. Then they do a X-ray or MRI or whatever on your knee, and they go, oh, you have juvenile arthritis. Here goes some naproxen for you. Here goes some Motrin for you. Then they do your levels and they go, well, you know, you're vitamin D3 deficient, you're calcium deficient, you're potassium deficient, you're magnesium deficient. Okay, but very few doctors will actually prescribe the vitamin D3 for you. Some will. Oh, and you're zinc deficient and you're vitamin C deficient. They don't tell you that if you were to take the zinc, the magnesium, the calcium, the vitamin D3, the vitamin E, you know, all these things, it combats the arthritis. They just give you a pain pill and then they send you to pain management. Instead of saying, hey, you are vitamin D3 deficient. I'm going to make sure, I want you to get vitamin D3. I want you to take 3 capsules a day for a month, and then we'll check your levels again to see how you're doing. Oh, you're magnesium deficient. I want you to take they don't do that. And then we don't always say, I have arthritis. Well, what causes arthritis? They want you to believe that it's the weather, that the cold wind hitting your body is what makes your body hurt. No, it's deficiencies in the nutrients that we need, that we're supposed to get from our food, but we're not eating the right foods. And then when people come in and try to help us, they can be on the extreme. So they want you to jump from being a person that's eating anything to just becoming a vegetarian. And you're supposed to just do that overnight. That can work for some people, but that's not for everybody. Instead, let's just do this. Eat what you want to eat, but drink 3 smoothies a day and make sure that the smoothies have all of the rainbow in it. You don't have to just eat a vegetable smoothie or a vegetable juice. Put some fruit in it, put some colors in it. It doesn't have to be a green drink. It doesn't have to taste nasty. You can put some kale and some Swiss chard, all the colors of the Swiss chard. Put some beets in it. Put some strawberries in it. Put some pears in it. Put some blood orange in it. Mix and match. Put some cinnamon in it, some pineapples. Put everything in it so that it tastes good to you. And as long as you start incorporating more of the things that are healthy for you, you will feel better. Your body will look better. Your skin will start to glow, and you can start to combat that. And the more you put healthy stuff in and you like the results of the way your body is feeling, then the more you won't want the stuff that's bad for you. But instead of just going from one side to radically jumping all the way over here, figure out what's going to work for you, because everything is not for everybody. But what we have to do is realize that the powers that be want you to be sick, because, and this is why they do what they do. They pump you full of all these things that are not good for you. They make it to where they don't want you growing really your own stuff. They're trying to come for backyard farmers. They have already paying the big farmers not to grow, so that then you're dependent upon their medications. Because what happens? You go to them because your blood pressure is high. So then they give you a pill. They normally will start you off on the water pill, the hydrochlorothiazide or Lasix or whatever. And then that doesn't really regulate you all the time. So then now they want to put you on lisinopril, which is not good for our people most of the time. But then they'll put you on another pill. So now you're on 3 pills. So you got side effects to that. So then they're giving you something for the side effects. Next thing you know, you're on 10 pills. Why? Because they get paid for every prescription that you get that gets written, and every time you go and pick up the next month's worth, they get paid for that. So now you're going to live longer because you're on these medicines. Your quality of living may not be so great, but you're alive. So they are getting paid over here because you're buying all the junk that's no good, that's going to make you come to them to get all the medications. Then you're going to develop things to where they're going to want to cut on you. And instead of you doing the research to see, do I really need to get cut on? Is there a holistic way that I can get this fixed? You're going to let them cut on you, and then it still might not work. Then they're going to give you these treatments that deplete all of the bad things. They're supposed to come in and kill the bad, but it also kills the good. So you can still get sick. So you might be going to get treated for this one thing, but because it depletes all of your, I'm trying to be wise of what I say, but all of your cells, you don't have the cells that can combat the flu that's coming around. So you might not die from having this thing, but the flu comes around and you're vulnerable, so you get the flu and you still can wind up dying. It's just so many things. We have to really think about how our ancestors handled things before they had all this new technology, because I'm telling you now, you gotta pay attention. Our best interest is not their best interest. They want to keep around so that they can make money off of you. You're a cash cow, but they don't care about your quality of life. And I didn't understand that until I was sitting up here. And y'all know I have arthritis. I tell y'all all the time, I have arthritis throughout my whole skeleton, from the bottom of my neck to my toes. And I'm just spasming. I'm just sitting here driving, all of a sudden I'm spasming. And I'm like, ow, 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 ow. And I'm listening, my daughter's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said to myself, how long do you want this? I got like a big, huge attitude with myself. And I told myself, this is all your fault. And nobody can change this but you. And I looked at myself in this rearview mirror and I just was like, you have to fix you. And you got to do it soon so that you can teach your daughters how to fix it before they get to where you are. Now, that was a hard pill to swallow, But it was the most honest I've been with myself in a long time. Whatever health ailments I have because I choose to have them. It's my fault. I am in a position right now to where I can correct anything I need to correct. If I do, bravo to me. If I don't, that's on me. It's on me. I don't have diabetes or anything, so I can fix everything right now. So that's why I'm talking to you guys about how I feel and where I'm at, because it's a big thing to me. We have to take our and our family's health extremely seriously. Extremely seriously. And I promise you, you're going to pay one way or another for your health. You can take charge of your health if you're not already. If you're somebody like my sister Homestead in the Hood, she's on point. She's one of the healthiest, knowledgeable people you could ever come across. However, we're all not there yet. Working on it, but not there yet. But let's just start. It doesn't matter. It could just be simply that you want to incorporate a salad to your diet every day. That's going to give you nourishment, more nourishment. Try to make it not so much the iceberg lettuce because it's predominantly water, but it does have a purpose. But, try to give yourself some spinach and some kale and some arugula and, just different things that are more nutritious for you. And just take it from there. Just make sure that when you eat a salad, it's enjoyable and it's colorful, because every different color fruit or vegetable has a lot of different nutritional value for you that you really need. Look up what nutritional values the red peppers have, if you can eat peppers. A lot of us are not doing nightshades right now, so you got to figure out what it is. But even if it's not that, if it's in a beet, if it's in a red carrot, there are red carrots. They are great. Red vegetables, see what those are about. Look up orange vegetables, yellow vegetables, see what they have inside them that would be beneficial to your body, because all vegetables are not equal. The green bell pepper is a pepper that has not grown into maturity. So they peel it early, and then they charge you 50 cents for it. But if it were to grow into the color it's supposed to be, like say it's red, then they're going to charge you $1.50 for it. They get over on us. Oh, we can't go that way. They get over on us on every hand. You have to figure out how long you want to live like that. Now, some of you trust the government. You want them to do whatever. That's cool. Do you, boo? What I know, it's not cool for me. It might be cool for you. Rock out. Do you. But for me, in my house, not only are we going to serve the Lord, but we're going to take our health a lot more serious, because this is the only life we get. This is the only body we're going to have while we're here. So why not make it feel the best so we can be our best? You ever notice when your body feels bad, your whole mood is different? But when your body feels good, you have all the energy, you're nice, you're perky, you're ready to go, and you're more of a joy to be around. But when you don't feel good, you're not always that joyous to be around. So I want to be joyous. I want people to be happy to be around me. When I come around them, I don't want them to be like, oh, here comes Pooh Bear. No, I want them to be like, hey, Pooh Bear. And I'm going to be like, hey, back, So that starts on the inside. So let's work on our insides to get our outsides to be joyous too. How about that? So I am roughly about, you were wrong, but go ahead. It's okay. I'm about to pull up on my aunt. We are about to go to my cousin's basketball game and have some fun. My uncle is here, so We're about to have some fun. I'm so excited. So, thanks for the ride. Thanks for tuning into Callie's Homesteading with Pooh Bear. Are you okay? You're not going. Okay, I tried to let you out, but you stayed. Thanks for tuning into Callie's Homesteading with Pooh Bear. I'm your girl Pooh Bear. One thing we're going to be doing is incorporating more cooking as I learn how to cook more healthily with a lot more vegetables, because one of the reasons that I don't is because I've not taken the time to figure out how to cook with, like, the only way I know how to cook Swiss chard is to boil it in my vegetable soup. But I'm going to look at different ways to cook it. I don't want to always just eat raw. I want to cook, and, maybe I'll take the Swiss chard and make it into a wrap. Like, instead of using a cabbage leaf, maybe I'll use Swiss chard. I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. I gotta find out. But make it into a stir fry, maybe. I don't know. But we gonna figure some things out, and we gonna have these cooking episodes like I used to do more and more, and just try to figure these things out. I don't know everything. I promise you, I'm still crawling. I don't know if I'm crawling. Maybe I'm scooting and haven't even got to crawling yet. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out, though. And I'm happy that you guys are coming along this journey with me, so you can help me, and maybe I can learn some stuff and you can learn too. I don't know, but it's going to be exciting however we do it. So thanks for tuning into Callie's Homesteading with Pooh Bear. I'm your girl, Pooh Bear. God loves you. You better love you, because I love you. And my love is real. So your love for you and yours better be real too. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye for now.